The loser of the first game has an advantage in the second game. Why do you have an advantage this time, based on that?
Well, just with the way you look at the game film, when you don't win, even if it's a very close game, you analyze each and every play and decision and think, what if we had done that differently, changed defenses, ran that play. But when you win, you feel more comfortable with the result, you feel like things worked out. So, I hope that can help us a little bit. We'll try a couple of different things. We're so familiar with one another, and they're so good defensively. I don't know how much of an impact that'll have. But we'll certainly look at it and try to change some things that we felt that we could have done better the first time that we didn't do well enough to win.
Do you think your depth on the bench has led to kind of some second half struggles towards the second half of the year?
Well, I think our depth is improving in terms of my comfort level with everybody there. I think with the level of ability of our guys and how much they're improving. Julius Johnson had probably the best game of his career the other night. Sal has really come on and played well. I think Matt Grace has really played well. So I feel like, VCU's depth is incredibly impressive. I think ours is improving, and I think it can help us in a game like this.
When you face a defense like that, the second time around, what are some things that you can do to kind of avoid the problems that last time you had hoped to avoid live ball turnovers, and maybe you didn't do it as much as you well as you hoped? How do you kind of correct that this time?
Well, one thing is obviously have to be prepared for the press, but what they're tremendous at this year is their half-court defense, and not only in getting stops, keeping your field goal percentage low, but getting turnovers. They're forcing a lot of turnovers. I think we have about the same amount of steals on the season, but they have forced more turnovers, and so they've taken a lot of charges. I think they took 6 against St. Louis, took 4 against us the first game. Those kind of things can really disrupt you offensively. Hopefully, what we try to do generally can help us move the ball, have our players moving, make it hard for them to kind of just focus in on one area of the floor or one ball handler. But they make it a challenge. They're long, they're deep, they're fast, and they're very committed. That's the biggest thing. Very committed to playing physical defense, and it has really paid off for them because their numbers are tremendous, and obviously their record speaks for itself.
Coach, I think you guys have felt like you said, when you can capitalize on the threes, the shooting this year, that you can play with anyone, but at the same time, against George Mason, sometimes they don't fall. It's tough. How do you compete with VCU's perimeter defense so good this year?
Well, that's a great question. We're going to need to make some three-point shots, and most games you need to do that, but for them, they're so stingy, and it's hard to get clean looks all the time. But we're going to need to make some three-point shots, and we've done it. We've done it much better in conference play. But it's, we're not such a great shooting team. We can depend on making 8 to 12 for threes, but we're a good enough shooting team where that could happen. So I think just being comfortable with the shots that we get, taking care of the ball, passing the ball well, passing the ball at the right time will help those shooters make shots. And like I said, we're really going to need to do that.
Comparing your team from the last time you faced VCU to where you are today, have you seen improvement? Where's the good and the bad? I guess that's the way to put it.
Yeah, I think we've had tremendous improvement. I think that I would say more guys contributing, and I would say because of our youth and guys gaining more experience and seasoning, that's where we've really improved. I think Andre Gustafsson has shown to be a really potentially great defender, but a really good defender, somebody who can drive the ball to the basket. Jake Wojcik had a great game at LaSalle, 15 points, and our really good guys, or our sophomore class of guys, has played very well. So I think we're much better. I'm sure VCU is better also as they're more and more comfortable. They're shooting the ball better in conference play as it's gone on, which really helps a team with their kind of defense.
Anything else, Chris?